Think Out Loud, we're three college guys who talk about tech. This is the week of, someone give me the date.
I think it's March 1st.
March 4th.
4th?
Yeah, the news for the week of March 4th. As always, I'm your host, Andrew Dane, joined by
Christopher Walton.
And I'm Alex Weston.
And let's just get the big news on the table, because the Apple event was Wednesday, and they had announced quite a bit of stuff.
They did.
The new Apple TV, the new iPad, but nobody cares about Apple TV.
No, it's all about the iPad.
Still a hobby, right?
It's
Did
still very
they
hobby.
did they still mention it was a hobby?
They don't mention a hobby,
Because
but
I
I
thought
get that feeling.
I thought this update was kind of like, they're trying to make it more than
Because
a
you were
hobby.
wrong about the update. You thought it was going to be an actual TV.
Oh, no, I thought they were going to actually have an actual TV along with the Apple TV.
Really?
Yeah.
Kind of like like a bigger cinema.
What
yeah,
about-
like for people who don't want to get an Apple TV, but still want to have some of the features, and just don't have, the money to buy a screen that's built in.
I just don't think Apple's at that point where they can iterate the Apple TV every year and still sell like a full-blown TV every year.
I think it'd be more of like a once every
But you know how that Apple doesn't work like that.
3 years or something like
Plus,
that.
who would
I don't
buy
know.
a legitimate Apple TV?
I mean, people would buy legitimate Apple TV, but when they know it's not going to get iterated.
But what do you think the
3
next big thing
years.
is? It's going to be from Apple. I mean, they've done computers.
No, they're dropping out the computer race. Like if you take cues from their event, they're talking about this post PC era. They don't talk about the Mac at all during the event. They're like, we have our iPods, we have our iPhones.
Every time I was like, post PC was the drinking game.
Yeah, basically. No, it's an adjective. My drinking game was magical and revolutionary. And every time you mention that word,
Mine was post PC. Oh,
with Phil Schiller. That'd make a great show, post PC era with Phil Schiller.
But let's get down to what really happened. We have the first thing was the Apple TV.
Yeah,
it was.
It's basically exactly the same as the old Apple TV, but now it's 1080.
Yeah, because we had reports that all the Apple TVs were pulled off the market, and now they're going to be the same price, which is $999.
Same price, same exact industrial design.
Pretty much, it's pretty much a software update.
Right.
But
a little hardware because now it can support 1080.
That's about it, though.
That's about it. Yeah.
And then moving on from that, kind of like sweeping that underneath the rug.
Yeah, because there's really nothing to talk about that.
So now it's the iPad 3,
The
which
iPad
you
3.
both had.
Actually,
kind of a
no,
competition.
it's not the iPad 3.
It's the new iPad.
No, it's not even the new iPad.
No, it's the new iPad.
I thought it was just the iPad.
No,
No,
it's
it's
the new
the new
iPad.
iPad.
Is it the new
It's the
on
new
Apple?
iPad.
Yeah,
It's the new
They
iPad.
dropped the numbers.
Yeah,
So-
I like it. I wish they dropped it later date than the iPad 2 because now it's confusing that you have 3. I mean, it's confusing that they sandwich the word iPad in between the iPad 2. I wish they went the iPad 3, and then after the iPad 3, they can drop the iPad, just so, the first iPad's not in people's minds anymore.
Revolutionary. Right. Is it really revolutionary?
The screen is. That's about it.
Nothing else. Well, you got a front-face camera now.
No, we've always had a
Yeah,
front-facing
the-
camera since the number 2.
Didn't they upgrade the front?
No, they did not upgrade the front.
They upgraded the back.
Oh, that's right.
Which totally makes no sense
because everyone uses the front.
Yeah,
especially when you're doing, like
FaceTime
Skype
or
FaceTime.
or Skype. You want an HD capable front.
Exactly.
So,
but let's
have they improved FaceTime? I feel like
No,
they need to improve
not at all.
FaceTime.
No, because a while back when FaceTime was first released, Apple promised they would release the APIs, so you would see Android and Windows Phone, and so people could build apps using the FaceTime protocol. So I could use FaceTime on my PC, so it could be cross-platform, but they never opened it up.
But you can't FaceTime. Can you FaceTime from your MacBook onto the iPhone?
yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's in Apple's ecosystem.
Yeah.
But they promised they were gonna open source the API so people could build FaceTime apps for other platforms.
So if you wanted to FaceTime with an Android device,
someone could build a FaceTime app.
Mm-hmm.
But
I
they never
definitely
opened it.
do want an updated FaceTime feature. I feel like, at times the FaceTime doesn't really work that well, and I kind of resort to Skype, but then Skype's kind of like, it's just a battery hogger
Well, yeah,
on
and
my iPhone.
the problem is it's still on Wi-Fi. You can't.
I don't think I have a problem with Wi-Fi, because sometimes my Wi-Fi is a lot faster than where I am data-wise.
I don't really care about that. I can only FaceTime at Wi-Fi just for the fact that we have cap data now.
Yeah.
That's true.
So
Because we do not have unlimited data anymore.
No, but then, Wi-Fi is getting pretty fast. Depends on where you are, if it's not slow. Like, here...
unless you have Time Warner, then you're okay.
Yeah.
But let's run down the quick specs of it. It quadrupled the resolution of the iPads now, which is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing short of amazing. It has the same pixel density as a sheet of paper now. That's pretty cool. Like we're at that technology ready. Still same size, which I was kind of hoping they like kind of either make it smaller or bigger. I just think 10 inches is not great anymore.
It's kind of like the 3.5 inches on the phone.
Yeah.
It's not great anymore.
We will be getting an iPad 3 into kind of like this demo and take a look
the
at
new
it.
iPad.
The new iPad.
And then they threw a marketing term called quad core graphics. When it's
You want to explain what quad core graphics
yeah, it's a dual core chip, so it's not quad core CPU, but it's a quad core GPU. I don't know what that means. It means nothing to me because
Is that what you need to render the?
It doesn't matter. It matters
display?
about what the GPU is. It doesn't matter how many cores it is. Like here, let me put it this way: this GPU
Mhm.
in the iPad, the new iPad is the same exact GPU in the PS Vita, but with half the cores.
PSP. I haven't seen a Vita, but you guys
The
like.
Vita is beautiful. Like it's PS3 level graphics. I don't know because
So you're gonna say we're getting a PS3?
no, I wouldn't say that because the PS Vita is very embedded.
Okay.
It's strictly built to take advantage of that. The iPad isn't. So
It's funny. They said I forgot who said this, but they said that the iPad's graphics and the new a lot of game developers are jumping on with the iPad, and to the point where it's like, oh, this the graphics and everything is better than a PS3 or an Xbox 360, and that's and Tom Merritt from the twit.com had a great argument that says, yeah, it's better than the PS3 and 360. This is 10-year-old technology you're comparing this to.
yeah, that's very true. That's very true. Yeah,
that's the only reason.
When the next home consoles come out, they're gonna blow this.
It's gonna blow it away, but it's like,
But
oh,
I think
it's better.
it's like the mobility thing, and then it's funny when we the demos of Infinity Blade Dungeons,
which
and
was like Diablo for the for the iPad.
basically, but like it was very detailed. Like the resolution at that resolution and the graphical power was impressive, but it had a lot of frame rate stutters.
Well, I mean, we couldn't see. Did we see any video of that? Well, I mean,
No,
during
but
the live blog, I
There
didn't
was a
see.
lot of frame rate stutters though.
Yeah,
That's all. That's all.
But
bloggers
was that
complain
app
about.
still in beta or was it an official launch?
No, this is what I keep. Even if it was in beta, I don't think Apple would have shown it off. Apple doesn't like betas. The only beta they've ever done is Siri publicly.
Okay.
They don't like showing off betas.
And that's a great segue too. Why my big thing was I thought Siri was going to be integrated into iPad 3.
And
When
why
I
not?
saw the icon logo for the new
voice.
voice dictation, I was like, all right, they're going to
I
announce
mean,
Siri.
it's Siri without the quippy remarks.
Do you think Siri is when they released it? It wasn't as good as they thought, and they didn't want to ruin the
Of
iPad
course
3
it
with
isn't.
it.
It's like split. Like I guarantee you, everybody who bought a 4S, 2/3 of them don't use Siri.
Yeah, it's more of a marketing gimmick at most.
I mean,
we've been at Panera. Remember when that lady was like talking to Siri and she was
Yeah.
kind of getting frustrated?
Mhm.
And,
It wouldn't work.
Yeah, and she just kind of like left it alone.
like my business partner, his Indian accent, Siri can't discertain the Indian accent. So
Yeah,
So-
but the thing is, I kind of wanted to see Siri in the Apple TV.
you know what
Out of all the products, I think that'd be kind of cool.
You know why I don't think they put Siri in the new products? Is I think they're having the first day that Siri came out with the 4S, the whole bandwidth hog and the whole Siri server was seriously slowing down.
But
But then add on the iPad to that. Do you think they can handle all these Siri confirmations?
this was the great thing. It would be a great thing to have Siri on is the new iPad. Why? Because the new iPad is LTE, and it'd be interesting to
No, it
see
doesn't
how
matter
Siri works on LTE
It doesn't
network.
matter how fast your Siri is. If Apple servers can't handle all those requests, it won't do anything.
But you think Apple servers that haven't upgraded to do the new requests if LTE comes out?
I mean, they'll have to. Their servers right now they buckle when the new version of iOS comes out when everybody's trying to download it.
I did 5.01. I'm running it right now. I did it over the air.
The 5.1 update.
Yeah, the 5.1. I thought it was 5.01.
5.1.
5.1?
Yeah.
Okay. I did the 5.1 update over the air, and I had to delete a lot of apps because I had I had GarageBand and iMovie on my and Keynote.
See, I don't.
It's like I maxed out all my storage just by these new app updates. Like they really increased the date, like the amount of
Storage
megabytes
they take,
on
yeah.
this app. Like I had to play with the new iMovie, which was you could do trailers now. There's a lot more integrated.
I just don't feel like I don't understand why they released iMovie and GarageBand for the iPhone.
I thought it was iPad 2, right?
Oh, you were talking about your iPad 2?
Well, no, I was talking about an iPhone. I haven't
Well,
used
yeah.
it on the iPad yet.
No, but seeing like it's too small of a screen to totally utilize the full capabilities on a tiny screen.
True, but a lot of people use still use the iPhone for a camera, and that's their most proprietary camera in their pocket. And some people kind of like the Instagram phase, kids want to edit their films, so iMovie is kind of like you do a little bit right there. I got a chance to play with the iPhoto, the new iPhoto for the iPad, and I think it's kind of a beautiful app. It's
beautiful until you opened up the brush palette, and then I want to throw up.
Well, because you guys are more Photoshop oriented.
No, I'm. Here's the thing: Apple, for some reason, is the most undigitally authentic company ever. Because the definition of digitally authentic is never try to cross-reference real-life objects with digital objects, because it creates too much clutter. And when I'm seeing these demos of iPhoto, I'm like, oh, this looks really good. And then they pull like the brushes, and the brushes try to look real. I wanted to puke so bad. I was like,
Just
this
because
is
of
disgusting.
He hates
brushes?
leather. He hates
this whole design element of Apple is getting seriously way too undigitally authentic.
I didn't think it bothered me that much. It's just more of a kind of a something to connect with.
You don't think it's tacky?
No, not at all.
I think it's super tacky.
Trust me, I've seen some tacky things. And
oh, you know what's super tacky? Game
stylus.
Center. The felt on Game Center. No, do not say anything bad about the stylus, because people still need pen and pencil. Until pen and pencil go away completely, I'll agree with you that stylus isn't necessary.
Well, pen and pencil? Like
pen and paper?
Oh, pen and paper?
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, how many times do you... I think a lot of people, more artistic people, are using pen and paper. But, like, the average day person, it's kind of getting away from it. You still have, in college, we type papers, we write emails. When's the last time you actually wrote out a physical letter and sent it through the mail?
You always have to sign something. Always.
Well, that's what...
Until you could pay bills and everything online. There's no more
signatures have gone digital now.
Yeah, signatures are digital. You just kind of sign it. I mean, if you had a digital stamp, I mean, you could pretty much do that.
I have
with your signature.
Even my computer has the ability to attach my signature
to an email.
Like a signed signature.
The FAFSA. Yeah. For people who don't know, it's kind of like the government.
Who doesn't know FAFSA? It's like your best friend.
Yeah, you got to fill out every year. You have the option to print it out and have upload it with with your signature. Or you could just do it with your social, and that's your
pin and initials.
Yeah,
no,
initials.
but what I'm saying is until the whole world stops using pen and paper, the stylus is still relevant.
I think
look at the office too. Like offices still use pen and paper.
Well, for what?
It doesn't matter for what until pen and paper totally disappears. The stylus is still needed.
Well, I don't think pen and paper are ever going to disappear. I don't think...
exactly, that's the point. Because there are some things that you can never do without a stylus. You can never get precise with your finger. Never.
Yeah, but I don't think you use a touchpad for that. Or an iPad.
Why wouldn't you? That would be the most beautiful thing, to have a perfect precision stylus with an iPad. Especially with this crazy new resolution. This is like a slap to the face to digital artists, because you have all this great resolution to work with, but then you don't get precision.
Well, maybe they have non-proprietary, a third-party stylus come out.
It won't, because the iPad does not have a pressure sensor, so it doesn't matter. All the proprietary styluses are like either the nipple styluses with a huge thumb attached to the stick, or like a ball that tries to emulate a point but doesn't work.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you would just use something more oriented towards your artistic needs, but. Well, I think pen and paper. I mean, I don't think
the stylus will ever die. Steve Jobs. That's one thing I really disagree with Steve Jobs. Is that when he said that if you have a stylus, you blew it. No, great example is the Galaxy Note. You guys might not like it, but that phone is getting so much buzz.
I mean, anything besides the iPhone is going to get buzz. The Droid gets buzz.
No, the Droid doesn't get buzz anymore.
Well, no, you just say Droid.
No, not even the Droid brand is gone.
I think everything gets buzz. Everything.
No.
If you with the right amount of marketing and advertising, you can still draw buzz.
But even so you're telling me that Huawei can get buzz in the U.S.
Well, they're not. Have they hit the mainstream on a TV, local channels?
No, but yes, everywhere else besides the U.S. Which you know what their phone is called?
What?
The D Quad.
I mean, we haven't.
No, like think about that. The D quad, because it's the first quad core processor. They could have come up with. They could have. That was like the worst name I've ever heard in my life. The D quad.
I've heard a lot of other things that are worse than that. You know, like the Samsung Galaxy Note. You know, is it a tablet? Is it a phone? It's find out yourself. You know, Samsung is doing.
Oh, you didn't get the joke. It's like Dickwad, but the hallway D quad.
Yeah, no, I got it. I just.
And you really think that Note's a worse name than D quad?
No, I mean, there's other phone names that are just really worse. Like the what was that? The Facebook phone that was going to come
The
out.
Cha-Cha?
Yeah, that's. I'd rather have a D-Wad than a Cha-Cha.
D-Quad.
A D-Quad, you know, or
and then in Europe it was known as the Cha-Cha-Cha.
Yeah.
Because they got sued by Cha-Cha.
Cha-Cha.
So.
But to go back to, you know, the iPad, there's really not much. It is revolutionary if you talk about
I don't think it's revolutionary.
screen-wise.
Screen-wise, yes.
It's revolutionary. But I still wish they had Siri on it, because that's more, I could see, you know...
Siri's more useful on
an
bigger
iPad,
screen.
yeah.
Do you see them bringing it as a software update in the future?
I don't see why not.
Yeah, I really don't see why not. I mean, everything's all server-side, so they could just push a small little update.
Yeah.
So, right. So once Apple is able to handle all these...
What does this new Diction
Siri
app
requests.
do? It's pretty much Dragon, right?
It's exactly like Dragon, because Apple bought Dragon.
Oh, okay.
So I use Dragon right now for my Mac, and it's a pretty okay software. It's, you know, the Diction is really, really great. I recommend it. You know, if you're, you know, just want to just be...
Its dictionary is not as big as I thought it would be, though.
Have you used it?
Yeah, we play with it in Pearson all the time.
I mean, I do it to jot down pretty much notes.
Yeah, okay. Jot down notes is fine.
But as to fully dictate a paper for a research project, I don't think I'll ever lead.
I think what I like about the iPad is it has 3 different radios in it, but it doesn't. They don't tell me what bands those radios are on. Like it has HSPA plus, EVDO, EV, HSDPA, and LTE in it, but they don't tell me what bands those are. I mean, those are meaningless until you tell me what frequencies they run on.
What's important about the frequency?
Because then you know what carrier you can use it with.
I think it's going to be AT&T and Verizon.
Well, I know you have AT&T and Verizon with LTE. That's no question.
Mm-hmm.
But then, what about the HSPA Plus? Is it compatible with T-Mobile's HSPA Plus network, or is that HSPA Plus only for the Europeans?
I mean, it's probably HBC Plus because Apple doesn't want to give it to T-Mobile. Have they given the iPhone to T-Mobile yet?
No, you don't. No, it's not the fact that they don't want to give the iPhones to T-Mobile. It's because T-Mobile has a weird band that nobody else uses.
Because no one wants to program. You know, it's kind of like, you know, no one wants to program Aster or BlackBerry. No one really wants to fix their band for T-Mobile.
It's not that big of a deal. I mean, you just have to order a new radio.
Yeah.
Right.
And
you can take your iPhone to T-Mobile.
You just won't get 3G.
Right.
Until now, but T-Mobile is slowly starting to transition the 1900 megahertz, which was their 2G network, into 3G. So once they finish that transition, all iPhones will work on 3G on T-Mobile.
Aren't CDMA networks also using?
But they're totally different technology.
Yeah.
No, that's right. Okay,
So
so it wouldn't really matter.
It doesn't matter.
Which is weird that T-Mobile's still on 3G, trying to phase everything into 3G.
They're going to LTE now, though.
They're
They're slowly trying to transition into 3G.
No, because they try to push HSPA Plus as hard as they could.
And failed.
HSPA
Plus, they didn't fail, but
HSPA Plus is LTE.
No, it isn't.
It's not.
No, it's not. Not even close.
Then what HSDA Plus is?
HSDPA, you mean?
HSDPA.
That's still 3G.
Then what's LTE?
3.9G.
technically,
technically LTE is 3.9G.
And there's no H, there's no DA. It's just 3.9G is the official.
Is LG.
Is
It's
LTE.
Yeah. Because LTE-A is 4G and WiMAX 2 is 4G. But since we aren't even close to that and the carriers don't want to wait, they're calling everything they have now 4G.
See, I think that's the whole thing. Like, I don't even know what really is true LTE. I just know HSPA Plus is a faster 3G.
Yeah, HSPA Plus is on the fast end of 3G, and then HSDPA is the uplink of HSPA Plus, and then it's dual. HSDPA is dual band, so you can run 2 HSPA Plus networks at the same time.
So are you doubling your bandwidth?
No, it's just like if you can't connect to one, you'll connect to another.
Oh.
And yes, technically, if both of them are open, yes, you'll get higher speeds. and then LTE is the closest thing we have to 4G without actually touching 4G. But if you a tech person gets confused about this, everybody else is confused about this, and that's exactly what Apple made the mistake of this week.
Back then it was Edge 3G.
Not even, no. There's a lot of discrepancy in Edge, because Edge is really 2.75G.
Yeah, but no one ever breaks it down that far for the average pro consumer.
Yeah. But now but then this is the first time we've broken it down so far, and then we're trying to consolidate all of it again.
Yeah, and it's kind of chaotic. It's...
Like, I'm surprised that I can keep up with this. As much as I have an encyclopedia of phones in my head, it's hard for me to keep up with these radio bands.
So, the iPad 3 is...
There's
it's not LTE is really just HSPA plus at its highest.
No, it is LTE. LTE is a separate technology.
Okay.
Let's make that mistake. There's HSPA.
How fast is LTE?
Theoretically, it can go up to 84 megabits per second.
And we can get down.
That's down.
Oh, that's down?
Yeah, that's download, and then you're about to get 20 up. But that's if nobody's on the network.
Yeah.
Realistically speaking, you'll get about 5 down.
Okay, so 4G and LTE are two separate. 3.9 and LTE are separate networks.
No, like you said, this is everything broken down.
Mm-hmm.
If you've broken everything down, HSPA Plus is like a 3.75 on the scale of 3G,
mm-hmm.
and then LTE is 3.9. It's the closest we can get to 4G without touching 4G.
And that was HSPA Plus?
No, and that's LTE.
Oh, LTE. Okay.
LTE, HSPA Plus is 3.75 around. Okay. But this confuses customers even more. Like you said,
I think it's a gimmick now. 4G. It's just it
definitely lost its meaning.
Yeah.
You know what real 4G is supposed to be? Real 4G is
like 40 megabytes up.
No, when you're standing in one place, you're supposed to get a gig per second down.
Well,
and then if you're moving at 100 miles per hour, 60 miles per hour on a train or a car, you're supposed to be getting 100 megabits down.
I mean,
wasn't WiMAX 2 supposed to get 1 gig down?
Yeah, WiMAX 2 is 4G.
Isn't there WiMAX in downtown Orlando?
There is WiMAX, but it's WiMAX version 1, which is 40,
which is 3.5G,
which is basically 40 down.
Yeah.
Right. There is WiMAX downtown Orlando, or
yeah,
there's WiMAX here.
Oh, okay.
WiMAX. That's the thing. Sprint was first the game with this 4G talk, and they released WiMAX, which is really 3.5G in Europe. Mm-hmm. But they branded it as 4G,
which is half a G.
Yeah, which is half a G. and then they were the kings for a while because we didn't get LTE yet. Mm-hmm. But when LTE came out, Sprint realized WiMAX will never be able to compete
because it's 3.9.
Yeah, it's 3.5 and LTE is 3.9, mm-hmm. and WiMAX does not have the speeds LTE is capable of. So now they're trying to kill off WiMAX as fast as they can to get up LTE.
Well, aren't they pushing WiMAX 2?
No, they're
killing it completely.
They're going straight into LTE and LTE-A. Okay. Sprint is actually going to be the first network to have an LTE-A network.
And LTE-A is
real 4G.
So that's why Clearwire is not doing anything.
Yeah. And T-Mobile's in the same exact position. With the bandwidth they got from AT&T and the failed merger, they were supposed to keep building out their HSPA Plus network. Mm-hmm. But now they also notice, wake up call, you can't have 3G forever. So now they're transitioning to LTE.
Which I guess would be a smart move for them because they got to keep up in the game.
Yeah, they have to keep up in the game. They're barely floating right now. But then, like, the update, all iPhone 4S owners on AT&T now, with a 5.1 update, their 3G icon is now a 4G icon.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's just misleading, to be honest.
It's lying. It's downright lying.
I don't know why. I want to know why Apple just decided to do
you think
that.
Apple's really losing its cojones?
I think Apple is giving into it what AT&T demands.
Steve Jobs would be rolling in his grave right now.
He probably is. You know,
Steve would never give this crap. He'd be like, no, fuck you.
Andy and I were talking last night. And it's misleading. Like Andy said, it's misleading. You go on Twitter right now, you know how many people are on Twitter right now saying, oh my gosh, I have 4G on my iPhone 4S now. This is amazing. Yeah. And you just want to scream at them so bad. It is not 4G.
But you can't because they're the uninformed consumer. AT&T taking advantage of them.
That's the problem.
I think Apple had such a strong, stronghold on what they want. That what Steve Jobs they believe their products should be at a certain level and a standard. And now since he's gone, they kind of given up that standard by giving up 4G.
I knew they would eventually give up his standards, but I didn't realize it'd be this soon. I think they would have given up a standard when Steve's legacy finally is gone, because his technically his legacy, if you read his biography, he worked on the iPhone that's going to be released this year, the next iPhone.
The next iPhone.
The next iPhone.
The next iPhone.
Did he say that in his book? It's the next iPhone?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there we go. We
So
know that.
this is where we...
Because he's like, no, but he didn't say it like the way Apple said the iPad. He just said, I worked on the next iPhone. He didn't say, I worked on the... He didn't say, he didn't say that...
Well, I think he was trying to
A
hint
hint.
that we're getting away from. That's one of the things going to go back to his announcement is that Apple is stating that it's the next iPad. Are we seeing the end of 4S and half,
Yeah.
3GS?
I mean, they did it with their iPod
Because
line.
people don't want to have a half, better phone and just wait another year and get a fully better one. That's what S kind of simulates.
We didn't even
It's
expect
like your phone is half better. Like, oh, I got an iPhone 4. You go from 3G, 3GS. It's like,
I think that
oh,
Samsung commercial hit it exactly. If it looks the same, how can anybody tell I upgraded?
yeah. That's the main thing about the Samsung commercial, but then it's also, Samsung's got its own problems with
Yeah, Samsung has its own problems in its own league.
with its updates and everything. I don't want to get into that. But staying on Apple News is... So do you think the iPhone 5...
I don't.
Or
They can't
iPhone
call it the
6.
iPhone 5 though, and they can't. Call
Yeah,
it
they
the
can.
iPhone 6.
Yes, they can because they were...
But that's disingenuous because it's the sixth iPhone. But they can't call it
Yes,
6
but
because then
they-
everybody gets confused what happened to the.
But they
5.
called the fourth iPhone the fourth iPhone, even though the 3GS was the fourth iPhone.
No, the 3GS was the third iPhone.
It was just a second version of it.
They had the iPhone, which was 2G, and when they introduced 3G, they called it the iPhone 3G instead of 2.
And then 3GS.
And then 3GS, and then the iPhone 4.
Then the 4S.
Yes, then the 4S. And
The
then
5.
they can't call the next one the iPhone 5 because it's going to be the sixth iPhone. But if they call it the sixth iPhone, people are going to be like, what happened to the fifth one? So I think, really, they're going to get away from numbers in the next iPhone.
Yeah.
So it's just the next,
The next
iPhone,
iPhone.
most likely.
But then how do people buy it?
That's how do you
How do you
What do you
order
mean
it?
by...
How do you order it? Because with the iPad event, Apple is still selling the iPad 2 just $100 cheaper. So when people walk into an Apple store now and they want the new iPad, what do they say?
I would like the new iPad, please.
I would like the current iPad that's came out.
The current,
The current iPad.
I would like the LTE iPad.
Well, what if you want one LTE?
Yeah, what if you want just what?
I would like the new LTE iPad with Wi-Fi.
I would like the new.
I want the new Retina display iPad.
Or I want the new LTE with Wi-Fi iPad without the LTE.
I want the latest iPad on the market. That's
the
basically what you're gonna go in and say.
Okay.
Well, to the point is,
Okay, then what
but
happens?
also they also phase out. This is the thing. Apple doesn't keep their iPads like they keep their iPhones on the market. They kind of like when the new one comes out, they kind of
No,
phase
but they're
out to the
definitely
point.
keeping the 2 down for budget.
Did they? What did they say? I didn't hear
Yeah,
anything about 2 sales.
No, they're keeping the iPad 2, but they're selling them at $399 now.
And that's the lowest price.
Yeah,
So do you think when they come out with the new
Wait,
iPad,
how many gigs is that?
16 gigs.
when they come out with the new iPad, will the iPad 2 phase out?
Yeah, definitely.
So then you'll have the new iPad. How do you distinguish between the new iPad and the new iPad?
Exactly. Are they handling this like their iPod events where they just like basically? They're handling it like their iPod.
I don't know why they got away from like generation and started going with numbers because it used to be, and I hate it when people was like, oh, I got the, I got 4, the 3G. It's just no. You have the third generation. Don't say G because you're getting confused with network and care.
Exactly.
And
That's what's up. That's exactly what's up.
And that's the whole thing.
I got a 4G.
I got a 3G iTouch. No, you don't have a 3G iTouch because the iTouch does not have
A radio in it.
inside.
It's the third generation.
Third generation. But what made them leave? Because the Nano, it's like, oh, it's the fifth generation
I think
Nano
it's
or
really,
the new.
I think. Again, it's like that thing with the iPhone 5 and iPhone 6 numbering. They don't know what to number.
Well, the iPhone, the iPod Touch and the iPod Nano. You just say, oh, it's the new iPod Nano or the new.
No, I know,
But they don't see. But they just get away with new. So I don't think it's going to matter to the point where what is. Do you even know what model you have on your
the 6th gen.
6th generation? But did they say 6th gen
Yeah,
anywhere?
they say it on the box, and they say it when you order online.
Okay. So do you think I think they should go back to generation.
Yeah, I mean it's simpler.
Absolutely.
Yeah, first gen iPhone, second gen.
But I think
Third
that's
gen.
why they're gonna go away from numbering on the next iPhone because mainly Apple loves marketing, and it's super hard to market a 5 and a 6 when you don't know how to number it.
Yeah. At the same time, if you look at Samsung Galaxy S and Samsung Galaxy, products and all, or just Droid and Droid Bionic, and you just have a lot of names on different phones, and it's the point where it's kind of confusing now. You just want, at the end of the day, people want the new iPhone.
Well, that's why HTC is trying something. No, Samsung did something great with the Galaxy S, because now I really think consumers know what Galaxy S is. If they hear Galaxy S, they think Samsung.
Yeah.
And then HTC is trying to do that with the One phone.
I think it's going to take off for a while.
And then Nokia is doing that with Lumia.
Until the Lumia actually comes out.
The Lumia is coming out this month.
It's 3.9. I still want to see the Lumia play hands-on with it before I make my final decision.
Okay, well, by the latest, the Lumia will come out in 9 days. The latest.
In 9 days?
Yeah.
So
in stores.
The 16th?
Yeah, that's the 18th.
Oh,
Your math is really bad.
What?
I said 9 days, and you said the 16th.
Oh, yeah. I don't know, because I was looking at I don't know why I was thinking that just extra 9.
Careful, because March 11th is daylight savings, so don't get messed up either.
But phones automatically adjust for that anyway, so...
Oh, no.
Well...
Your phone? Oh, yeah, because the iPhones have issues with that!
True.
You have to wait for a software update to fix your little issues.
Oh, don't act like your phone's all high and mighty.
Oh, really? My phone still smokes your phone, even though it's technically 2 years older.
Is your camera better?
No, but it's faster.
Hardware-wise or network-wise?
Hardware-wise.
Okay. Do you have the most current apps that are in the market?
Yes.
Do you have a decent mail carrier? Mail client?
The mail client on Windows Phone 7 is the best mail client besides Gmail and Ice Cream Sandwich.
Yeah.
Chris Ziegler, one of the mobile phone highlights of news reporting, is getting a Lumia 900 as his next phone. That should tell you something. He's giving up his Galaxy Nexus for Lumia 900.
People just get tired of anything. After a while, you're gonna get tired of the Windows phone.
Yeah, that's true. But there's something to.
If you have a Windows phone for as long as I've had an iPhone, you're probably gonna get to the point where it's no matter what update it is, you're just gonna grab it and still be like, you know what?
I just kind of want to settle down though. Like as me, I would swap phones a lot, but I'm most happiest on Windows Phone.
Yeah. So I mean, I did the Android. I like running Ice Cream Sandwich, but I'm still going to fall back to the iPhone.
Oh, so that was just kind of like a breath of fresh air, and you want to go back to your walled garden.
Well, no, I like the Android, but I just want to have a phone that truly runs it. I don't want to have a
hacked version.
Yeah. And then so to wrap up,
how did we get on hacked phones from the iPad?
All right, just to wrap up the iPad. All right.
No, we're not done with the iPad.
Well, no, we covered pretty much all the new features that are coming out.
Besides the camera. Because the camera is kind of a weird thing to talk about, right?
It's the only update to the camera is on the back, which no one understands why, because people take front-facing camera photos a lot more.
Yeah.
So that means, do you think they'll update the front-facing camera in the next iPhone?
They'll update the front-facing camera on the next iPad when the next iPhone has a better camera.
So you think they'll put the iPhone 4 camera in the front and the iPhone 5 camera on the back?
They might as well stick with one phone.
I don't know what the new camera is going to be.
It's still the old camera from the iPhone 4.
No, like I'm talking about future-wise, new iPhone. I don't know what the next iPhone.
I mean, I would love
camera is going to be.
I would love them to upgrade to like at least 2 megapixels instead of sticking with the less than 1 they have now.
I see 8 megapixels in the front.
What?
8 megapixel camera in the front?
That'd be nice.
No, that wouldn't be. That'd be. Why would you want an 8 megapixel camera on the front?
Like they say in that rant.
Yeah.
Which I
No, they want an 8 megapixel in the back, because in the front you'll just have like a super wide sweep. You want them to see everything behind you.
I guess. I mean, if you're big into parties and
But then you can't transfer that data. 1 8 megapixel photo is like 3 megabytes. You want to transfer that in video?
Yeah, but it's on Wi-Fi.
Still, a Wi-Fi network is not fast enough to transfer 8 megapixel worth of video.
Well, wouldn't it be depending on your network?
Yeah.
But still, Wi-Fi is not at that point where we can do that. We barely have trouble transferring 720p.
You know, I want to have like a hardwire connection into my iPhone. So
That would be nice.
I'll be able to just plug in a Cat5 Ethernet cable.
Okay, so we want to go back in technology time and put Ethernet cables
How
on
cool
phones
would that
again.
be if your phone's plugged in and you just
You
jack
know what?
into
You know what had an Ethernet cable? The Motorola Zoom.
Did it
Guess
really?
what? Guess what? How the
Did it have any?
yes, it had an Ethernet
That's
cable.
interesting. They never marketed it.
Why would you market 10-year-old technology?
You wouldn't want to plug in a T3 connection and have it in your phone.
What's the point of a tablet? Is not to plug anything in.
You still got to plug in a charger.
I don't mind Ethernet
Unless you're
cables on
having a cellular
laptops,
charger.
but
Well, you think those will disappear?
eventually, yes.
Or it's going to be running Thunderbolt.
Oh yeah, because that's
You
taking
think-
off so well.
Not to get off traffic, but really quickly, do you think ISPs will disappear? Or like not ISPs, but the home internet.
Well, the dream, I guess, the dream is that all telephone companies and ISPs just become dumb pipes and they do nothing except feed us internet. That's the dream.
Like, do you think that internet will just be based off? Oh, look, I have a phone. Here you go. This is the only internet source we need.
No.
No.
Oh, but that gives me a great. I hate. Let's not use the word segue because it's like the moment you put.
We got to finish up the. Let's finish up one thing at a time.
Did we finish the iPad? I mean,
We talked about a camera.
We talked about the camera.
We talked about.
Okay, here's a quick rundown of the camera. It's the iPhone 4S camera, but with only 5 megapixels, not 8.
Yeah, so it's half of the iPhone S's camera.
Yeah. So.
Well, not even a half because it would be 4 megapixels.
No, it's actually weird. Megapixels don't work like that.
Oh,
So
for my bad math was good, but then it's bad.
yeah, it's bad. Okay.
Anyway,
So yeah, we talked about the camera. We talked about the radios.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and if someday we get any European listeners, if you buy an iPad 3G in Europe, it works on 4G LTE in America. If you come,
that's a plus.
yeah, that's a plus.
Good.
Because
Yeah.
We talked about the iPhoto a little bit. How I hate the.
But it's a decent app overall.
It's a decent app, yeah.
I think it's a little pricey.
How much
$5.
is it? $5.
$4.99.
I think that's pretty cheap.
I don't think it should. I think it should be just integrated into the app, into the iPad.
But iLife is integrated into the Mac. Is
but iPhoto, I think it should be integrated into the new iPad though, for free.
it?
If
Well,
you're-
iPhoto's in here automatically. I got iPhone. Wait, no, I don't. Do I?
I thought the
Check.
iLife suite was you had to buy separately.
I think iPhone's standard.
iPhoto's standard. When you
Okay.
plug in like your
But
phone
you
or
had to,
something, it starts.
but then you have to get GarageBand and iMovie with the iLife.
iLife,
suite.
yeah.
Well, that came with mine as well, but I guess that just
It was in your bundle, I guess.
it was in my bundle.
Okay.
Yeah.
iPhoto.
iMovie, I played it with the iMovie on the iPhone and done trailers, and it's pretty interesting. I liked it a lot.
Still not powerful enough to do real heavy duty work though.
Yeah, but I mean,
It's not
It's
going
not
to shoot
gonna-
my next. It's not going to shoot my next show. Okay, let's just say that.
iMovie. You mean not edit your next show?
Yeah, it's not going to edit my next.
Final
show.
Cut's not even gonna make it for his next show.
Yeah, Final Cut's not going to.
Do you think they're gonna have Photoshop Touch come out?
Well, they already have.
Unless they have a stylus, I don't see Photoshop being used
A
with fat
higher
fingers.
quality, like which is gesture based.
I don't see how that's work. How are you gonna segment areas in the?
Well, I
photo?
don't know. I'm just asking you.
Well, this
use
is where a
Photoshop.
stylus comes in.
As far as I've gotten is Photoshop Express.
Yeah, which sucks.
Yeah, you can't do anything. So I don't know.
Okay, are we done with iPad news?
Talked about the iPad, everything it has to offer, and it'll be available March 16th. It's now
Maybe
available
that's what you're thinking of.
for pre-order. Yeah.
Okay, it's same price as the old iPad, and the iPad 2 is now $100 cheaper.
Yes. So
And
get it while you can. I think
I wouldn't recommend an iPad 2 at this point.
I would recommend an iPad too.
I wouldn't recommend it. That Retina display totally blows everything out of the water. Why
But
would you
still,
settle?
people who can't afford the new
No,
$100
if people can afford an iPad 2, they can pony up a week or 2 weeks worth of salary to get the iPad, the next
for
iPad.
people who just want to have the iPad experience, I still recommend the iPad too.
No, I still don't.
I
Because
use my iPad 1 right now, still currently, and it's not really deterring me from the iPad 2.
You're not having any RAM issues?
No.
Okay.
I mean, what am I doing on the iPad? I'm surfing the web. I'm
How many
looking
tabs
through
do you have
photo.
open? Because like I could barely open 6 tabs on the iPad 1 without it crashing on me.
Probably like 8.
Okay. Because
Mm.
until tablet can support my 72 tabs,
Your fetish for tabs.
it's called getting work done.
You can't even organize that.
Yeah.
Okay, are we doing
Grouping
iPad?
tabs would be pretty interesting.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Let's see. March 16. Yeah, March 16. Pre-order. Apple TV is. I think it's available.
On sale now.
It's not in stores now.
It's not. It's on sale now though, in the Apple Store, and then new shipment. Yeah, it's on sale now because the new shipments came March 7th.
Yeah, so
that's
I don't know why I was like an extra 9 days to be the 19th. So the 19th is when
the 18th.
18th.
It's
so 2 days after.
No, we don't know the release date of the Lumia, but we know the latest date it will ever release is the 18th.
Okay.
So it can release any time from today.
Well, you can either be undertaken by all the iPad news coming out, of iPad hitting the stores, or you can do it a day after, 2 days after.
Yeah.
So
but I think Nokia knows Apple practically rules America right now, so they're gonna release at a good time.
Yeah. And that's about it.
No, that isn't. Oh,
for iPad.
iPad, yeah.
Yes. Well, Apple event in total.
Yeah, Apple.
Those were the three things. No Apple TV.
No true Apple TV.
True Apple TV. Do we know officially if there's going to be a summer iPhone event?
You know, there's always going to be a summer iPhone event.
There wasn't last time.
Well, that was just one time.
Well, actually, last year there was a lot of complication with Steve Jobs stepping down as CEO, and then his death, and then
hopefully that's all cleared.
Yeah. So, but I want to talk about net neutrality, which is kind of a random topic. But since we were already ranting about 4G and how AT&T is ruining our lives, AT&T's continually trying to ruin our lives by breaking net neutrality. Because eventually, AT&T is in at MWC. MWC might seem like a consumer show where phones get released on the front side, but in reality, MWC is all about backhanded business deals and let's do business with suits. Why do you think the ticket to get through the door is $5,000? No normal person is going to pay that.
No.
But all these telephone companies got together at MWC for a closed conference where the media wasn't allowed, and they talked about how they want to charge for services. Like, they want to charge you if you want YouTube on your phone. They want to charge you if you want Netflix on your phone. They want to charge you if you want to use Facebook on your phone. And that totally destroys net neutrality.
You have to pay for every service you want.
They're trying to start this trend where they don't want to become dumb pipes. They see what Europe is. They see, well, we love Europe right now because the Europe carrier system is awesome. Mm-hmm. We think it's awesome. They think it's the worst thing ever because they don't make money. I mean, they make money, but not as much as they make now.
Right.
So they want to say, oh, you have a data plan? Well, too bad. YouTube uses so much. They claim that YouTube uses like a lot of data, and they should get compensated for YouTube.
No.
Exactly. No, data is data.
Right. And they've already started limiting us.
Yeah, they already started throttling you. They already started capping you.
It's unbelievable.
And now they want to charge you for using the services that you already pay for, so you have to pay another fee on top of that.
They just capped 5 gig.
Wasn't this the thing that Norris was talking about way back in the day?
Well, net neutrality has been a big issue for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for non-tech people, yeah, Norris talked about it in the back of the day. But for me, net neutrality has been an issue since 2008.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we've known about net neutrality and also SOPA and PIPA and everything before. It's cool to talk about it.
But because they're fearing becoming dumb pipes. They fear and then this is unprecedented because like they claim they need money, but then they just post these record-earning quarterlies where they earn billions of dollars.
We're quite opposite from Europe. We make a heck of a lot of money, and we are so
greedy and stingent with it.
Right.
And they make money, but they're socialist and they share everything.
That's true. But I mean, everything we do, we get charged for. We should have at least texting free. Come on.
Where's the
texting
is
kind of free now if you have an iMessaging. That's the kind of cool thing about.
Well, you have to have a data plan.
Well, it's kind of a given that if you have a smartphone, you're going to have a data plan. There's no such thing as.
Well, actually, you can't even use iMessage over
Wi-Fi.
Data.
You can.
On Wi-Fi, no data.
You can switch to data.
Yeah, you can.
You can use over data, like right now, if you were not on the Wi-Fi network.
You would be able to switch to data. iMessage is all over data. They got rid of the standard messaging client in iOS 05 and replaced it with iMessage.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's good.
You could turn iMessage off and send straight text.
But like my cousins came down from Tennessee and they all had iPhone 4Ss. And then I asked them, do you guys still pay your texting plan? And they're like, yeah, that's how we send text. I'm like, but you're using iMessage.
Yeah, but not a lot of people have iMessage.
No, but that's the thing. They don't need iMessage. Because all their text will come in through data. Anybody who texts them comes through data. And every text they send out will come in data.
Does it?
Yeah.
Even for non...
Yeah, every text they receive should still come through iMessage.
I think it still comes through texting.
No,
Really?
Yeah, because I think until you officially have iPhone, it's data and over Wi-Fi.
I thought it didn't discriminate. I thought if you used iMessage, it was all over data.
If I text you, it still it shows up as a text message, not as an iMessage.
Really?
So what does phone carriers think of this? I mean,
They hate it. They totally hate it.
Even though you're using their data, you're getting rid of the texting.
Until like a mass majority of my friends are on text, like on iMessage. I think I might even just lower my text messages.
You can't. AT&T doesn't have anything lower than unlimited.
No, I don't have unlimited. I have 1500.
Oh, well then you can't go any lower.
I thought it was 500.
No, AT&T canceled all their texting plans except unlimited.
You can't even get
When was this? I've never heard of this.
What about text as you go? You can't
I guess you could prepaid text, but AT&T got rid of all their texting plans except unlimited because they don't want people getting like cheap. Because they didn't want people with iMessage, exactly what you were thinking, to get a lower messaging plan and just using iMessage full time.
Because my dad has the 500. He plays for the 500.
Yeah, because you guys are grandfathered in. But if once you renew your contract, that's gone.
Because that was the kind of thing. It's like you could either have 500, 1500.
Yeah, you had the 500, 1000, or 1500, and they got rid of all of them for unlimited. Because they want you to pay that $20. I'm telling you, these carriers.
I have 200.
These carriers are evil. Like, they really are evil. Like, like, we always joke that we think they're evil, but as we peel back each layer of the onion, they get more evil.
I remember it used to be you could pay for. I remember when I had when I originally signed up for my plan, there was no text as you go whatsoever. You had to buy that 200.
Yeah, you had to do the monthly.
Well,
contract.
it was always 15 cents a minute. 50 cents text.
I thought it was 10 cents.
I thought it was 15 cents.
It was 10 cents on T-Mobile. I don't know how much it was on AT&T.
It was 15.
Well, and they just would not allow you to pay as you go, and then they added the pay as you go eventually. And is that gone now?
You could cancel. I think you can cancel your texting.
You could cancel and then pay as you go, but I mean that's really risky.
Well, if you have iMessage,
how is that risky? Like if I think about it, there's
because you don't know how many texts you're going to get not through iMessage.
True. Like I mean, there's a handful of people that don't have texting, who don't have iMessage. Not even that, but even the iTouch can do iMessage.
Yeah.
So I can just get rid of that and just tell my friends to start texting me from
their iTouch.
Yeah, or their iTouch
wherever they have Wi-Fi.
Yeah, or send me a text, which is 15 cents. I mean, we're gonna have a 15-cent conversation. Maybe $1. Does that really add up?
Yeah, 15 cents really does add up.
What is their actual? I don't understand what.
I mean, people.
But
really...
let's not just excuse AT&T from this. Verizon's awful too.
What is their?
Verizon's like a little whiny little biatch right now.
God, you're on fire today. We're trying to get into the iTunes store.
No, because Verizon last week they said only 5% of users actually use their LTE network, right? Mm-hmm. And then they're still running that double data promotion to try to get people onto the LTE network. Like if you pay for 2 gigs, you really get 4 gigs. And then now Verizon's saying by 2013 they're going to run out of LTE.
Okay, so I just pulled up this old article from PC World. It says AT&T has confirmed that it's killing off text messaging free plan that allows up to 1,000 messages per month, nudging customers to an unlimited plan for fees for every message.
Exactly.
Starting August 21st, which we didn't mean Alex to know, your choice of AT&T and SMS plans are either 20 cents for every text message sent over
they raised
or
the text
received,
messaging price.
Or $20 per month for individual plans and $30 per month for family plans, up to $5 a line.
They're robbing people.
$30 for text messaging.
Which is my whole. You know what? You're gonna hear.
My parents.
The whole thing is bullshit because AT&T's plans don't have a family plan. Their thing was someone had to buy text messaging, and then you had to pay an additional $10 on top of that, unlimited. To
branch off from that plan.
To branch off to get family texting. There was no simple family plan like T-Mobile offered, like Sprint offered, like Verizon offered. Well, I don't know if they still offer. They don't offer family plans anymore?
If they do, they're hell of expensive as individual plans.
All they want to do is make money. Text messaging should be free. It's not doesn't consume a lot of data.
You know how much data text messaging costs?
Nothing, barely.
Basically nothing. A full 60 message, like going back and forth, 60 messages each, so 120 text messages is about 120 kilobits. Kilobits, not kilobytes, kilobits.
It's nothing.
That's nothing.
That's not putting a dent.
That's like a millisecond of downloading.
That's not putting a dent in anything. And they're charging, what, $30 for...
Yeah, they're charging the same amount.
20 cents. That's ridiculous. Well, I bet if you bitch and moan them enough, you can get it down to 500.
No, you can't. Because the tiers don't exist in the computers anymore.
The pricing still does.
No, the pricing doesn't.
So,
the pricing in the computers only accepts unlimited now.
And how much is unlimited? $20?
Unlimited is $20 for a single person, and then for your whole family, $30.
That's ridiculous. Well, my dad pays what? $10. I think it was $10 for 500, and 15. He pays 15 for me.
So when your contract is up, you're going to be pushed to get unlimited.
This is $30 alone. This is not
because he pays. That's $25. So $5 more, you might get unlimited, and the family can text. I mean, it does make sense, but at the same point,
what is the lowest tier for data? We'll put it this way.
Ridiculous. It's for AT&T.
Yes,
it's $15 for 250 megabytes.
That's the thing. I use way more than it should be $15 for a gig.
So no, I think it should be $10 per gig. Like you pay $10, you get 1 gig. $20, 2 gigs. $30, 3 gigs.
That would make sense because it's only a $10 additional charge extra per gig you go over.
No, because that makes no sense when it's like $15 for 250 megabytes and then $30 for 2 gigs. Last time I checked.
Wait, so what was? I had the original.
You had the 25 for 2 gigs.
Yeah, that's what I have.
And now it's $30 for 3 gigs.
Okay. So basically, no matter what, the price is going to keep.
Yeah, the price is going to go up,
and you're going to get less than what you want.
And you're going to get less because most people use a gig. I think a gig is a sweet spot, and carriers know that, so they don't want to offer a gig, so they push you towards the 2 gig or 3 gig plan.
Are we going to see a mass transition into lower level companies
like Metro and stuff?
Yeah.
Until they start offering good phones, no.
But if you could take your phone over,
if they allow you to take your phone, like
kind of like what T-Mobile did.
Yeah, T-Mobile does that now. You can take a phone over. It's just that they used a weird band that you don't get 3G on. But if like a new GSM network, like that's compatible with AT&T and T-Mobile, like a pentaband network, allow you to bring any phone in as long as it has a SIM card slot, they would make a killer. But AT&T would totally destroy them. AT&T would lobby to hell in government and say, "Oh, we don't want them here." Because look at Republic Wireless.
Well, you can't deny, free business.
What do you mean free business?
I mean business, competition in general.
Yeah, but there is no competition. That's the thing.
Yeah, so how can AT&T lobby against something that's
because they have money. Lobbying is just another way of saying bribing.
Yeah, that's true.
Here's some money. Shut them down.
Exactly. I'm surprised at the T-Mobile. It gave me hope that the government still cared about us when they shut the AT&T T-Mobile merger down. But other than that, AT&T still rules the country. AT&T Verizon still rule the market. No matter how good Sprint and T-Mobile will be,
they'll always be second.
They will always be second class.
Unfortunately.
But I think people are going to get to the point where, if they have 4 kids and they have their family plans, they don't have good family plans anymore. Family plans during when we were in middle school were $20 for unlimited texting for the family.
Yeah,
I don't understand
we pay that for T-Mobile now. We pay $20 for
and that's the same. Everybody. You're not getting any unlimited text messages. That's unlimited text messaging. I don't understand what made $20 to go to $30 for unlimited. What $10 difference am I getting while I'm texting?
Because you're spreading you're spreading the love around.
Bullshit. That's what it comes to.
Basically. And you know what's funny? Spectrum belongs to us as citizens because we pay taxes. Spectrum doesn't belong to AT&T, T-Mobile, Verizon, and Sprint.
Yeah, I bet there's a loophole in that somehow.
No, it's just that we own the Spectrum, but somehow our smart minds are like, oh, we don't want to deal with it, so we'll just let the government take care of it. And the government's like, well, we need a way to make money, so let's license it out to AT&T, T-Mobile, Verizon, and Sprint.
So I wonder if the average person could just go over and say, you know what, can I have my own Spectrum? Piece of a Spectrum?
If they license their own Spectrum, yes.
Why would I have to license it if I pay tax on it?
Because they already license all their Spectrum.
So how much is a license for a Spectrum?
I don't know. That's why they have Spectrum bid auctions. You bid on them.
And how much Spectrum would you need just to have your own piece of?
That's what a femtocell is, right? You have your own little piece of Spectrum right there.
What is a femtocell?
It's like you plug it into your internet and it creates your cellular network right there.
Voice over IP.
No, not voice over IP. It literally you plug it into your Ethernet and you have a mini cell tower.
Say you don't have very good signal in your house, you could buy a mini cell tower from AT&T
or T-Mobile or Verizon
and plug it into your router, and basically you have.
And does that boost your wireless cell?
Yeah,
basically have
you
signal
have
in your
your own
house.
cell tower in your house.
How much is that?
Oh,
It's usually free for loyal customers. Like, just call them up and be like, "Hey, I've been with you for 5 years. Give me a free femtocell. Hook me up."
that actually might be a good idea. But because my parents talk.
So is it,
Anyway,
Yeah,
is it SFEM?
Yeah, femtocell. Femtocell.
Femtocell.
It's usually $100, but if you're a loyal customer, they usually waive it. Like our T-Mobile femtocell was free because we've been with them forever.
so you have one in your house.
So
Yeah.
could you just go to an
How
AT&T
good is
store?
your signal?
No, you have to call because the store clerks don't know anything.
So how good is your signal in your house? Full bars?
Always full bars.
Yeah. Oh, I get. So okay.
I gotta go buy a new router then.
Well, I guess I could apply for a femtocell,
Yeah,
and so because where I am is on the unincorporated part of Orange County.
Where I live on a border where there's just nothing.
But that's the thing. Like, these carriers are out of control. The FCC really needs to shut them down. But the FCC is too busy getting money shoved in its face by AT&T and Verizon to do anything.
Yeah. Well, that's
Unfortunate.
yeah.
You see, I love capitalism. I'm all for capitalism. We live in America. Capitalism, yay! But then the more and more I see this, the more and more I want communism.
Are you kidding me? Like
No, like, I'm joking.
they just finally
honestly.
got iPhones in North Korea, and that's the first one.
The first
They've had iPhones in China for a long time. Just saying.
Oh yeah.
Oh, North Korea.
Well, North Korea was a
The
special.
North.
North Korea was a special kind of communism. They were trapped in a bubble, Chris.
Okay.
There's a
I'd rather
difference-
be trapped in a bubble with a decent cell plan.
But you don't. But you're not. So
We're not.
that's
That's why I think I'll move to China.
Oh yeah, good luck with China Air with no Google, no Twitter, no Facebook.
China Air. Is that their?
That's their network.
Carrier.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I
One,
thought,
the one and only network.
No, they have two, but they're owned by the same person.
One network.
Yeah, it's
So-
it's one network with two names.
it's ridiculous.
Oh.
All right, so I don't know what spun off to.
No, because I really just wanted to rant about 4G and the 4G.
4G, yeah,
4G, and then
Get
how
it-
these carriers are totally ridiculous. They're out of control.
they are. And to wrap up that, I think we need to move on to Google Play.
Oh yeah, quickly let's talk about Google Play. I
Yeah,
totally forgot about
let's get
that.
off of
Just trying to
Okay,
get-
this is the gist of Google Play. They killed the Android market, and now it's just called Google Play. What do you think about that? Because I don't like it. I don't like that they're calling it Play because it doesn't make me think of apps. It makes me think of movies and music, which I guess is.
Well, you do play with
That's
apps.
basically what the
You play with
the
it any
store.
But
kinda
then,
app.
but then Android's trying to position itself as this thing. Oh, we can go into enterprise, and there's like some enterprise level security and apps, and then all of a sudden they turn on the phone, and then instead of the Android market, you have Google Play.
What would you think if they did G Zone? It's no longer a market; it's a zone.
No.
No. So you like Google Play way better?
I don't like Google Play, but it's a lot better than G-Zone.
G Zone.
G-Zone.
G-Zone.
I used to knock on the ghetto people with it. I have the G-Zone. No, they had
Pardon
a phone.
Andy's racist.
No, unlike my mother, I stereotype.
Was it still
Yeah.
racist?
But they do have the phone, the Casio G-Zone. So, I think Casio would sue them.
I don't know.
But I think it's nice that they're consolidating everything. I like Android market better than Google Play.
Did they replace the Android market on all Android
Yes.
devices?
Yeah, they pushed an update. The Android market.
A market seems more open source than a store.
Yeah.
Because you go to a farmer's market, it's a lot more, raw and uncut compared to a produce place.
What sounds better? The app. Okay, so Apple calls theirs the App Store. Microsoft has been calling theirs the Marketplace since the Zune ages, and then now it's Google Play.
I think at the end of the day, you still call out, both of them an app store.
Really, I call mine the Marketplace.
Well, actually,
even if I go on an iPhone, I call it. Oh, let me check the market.
we have the Windows 8 consumer preview on here. They call it store. That's it.
I think they're going to change it to Marketplace when it comes out. They want to consolidate all of it together.
Right. I know it's beta, but they have it as store.
I mean, I don't know. I think it's. I just say, let me see your apps, or what apps or does your store carry? I think that's more like, your phone have in its app store.
Well, I shop on Amazon Market all the time, and then Microsoft calls theirs the Marketplace. I'm just so used to calling everything Market. And then Android was called the market. So
Can you imagine just like you start, ISPs start charging for, not ISPs, cell phone carriers are going to start charging for their market store.
Oh, they are. Especially now because Apple, going back to Apple, their newest update allows you to download stuff. Because before, the limit was 20 megabytes over 3G.
I thought that it was underneath that because I know I just got bumped up to do, I thought I was now able to do 20 megabytes.
No, it was 20 before. The limit was 20 before. Now it's 50.
50, yeah.
Because apps are getting larger.
Yeah.
And then I want to put it past the carriers to say if they do break down net neutrality with this whole YouTube charging for YouTube, Netflix, and Facebook thing, I would not put it against them to start charging access to the App Store.
Would net neutrality even cover Xbox Live?
No, that's the thing. No, once the cell phone companies do this, then the home companies can start doing this.
Yeah. Because then Xbox Live, because then you pay
for the Xbox Live.
You pay for the service of Xbox Live, which hosts it on your Xbox.
If you host a game, but
some games,
half
some of the games
on your Xbox and half on Microsoft servers.
Yeah, so then you're going to be paying a third charge. Actually, 4 charges. You'd be paying for the network of internet.
Mm-hmm.
You would be paying for the Xbox Live. And then you would be paying for to
have access to use Xbox Live from your ISP.
Yeah, so it's only 3. I don't know why that was 4. Maybe because I was thinking the store. If you bought stuff, their Xbox Live store.
Yeah, like streaming
services. On the
This is
so is that kind of technically for their store where you can get Netflix and
like if you
marketplace.
You would pay for Xbox Live, you would pay for the internet, you would pay to use Xbox Live because of net neutrality, have access to Netflix Live, and then if your ISP did, they would charge you for every additional service like Netflix and Hulu.
People are just gonna lose their minds. There's so much to keep track of. You're gonna have. It's impossible, that's why bundling is so big, I guess. But I think they're gonna have a gaming package, media package.
The thing that started net neutrality was the whole tethering plan.
And tethering lets you just do everything over.
No, yeah, it lets you share your phone internet connection, but I don't get it.
Oh, speaking of internet connection, the iPad 3 can now be a mobile hotspot.
Not for AT&T.
Not for AT&T.
Not the AT&T version, only the Verizon version.
Oh.
Which I still think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but
can you do an LTE hotspot?
Yeah, but you have to pay extra for that.
Yeah.
Which I don't get because you're already paying for the data in the first place.
How much extra? Well,
$20 extra.
Just to
activate tethering.
Could you jailbreak it?
Yeah, and that's what people always do.
And did they charge you?
If they don't find out, no.
9 out of 10 times, what would you say? They find you?
No, that's why I always buy because when you buy a phone from AT&T, the tethering app is provisioned for AT&T. So when you turn it on, they know you're tethering.
Mm-hmm.
But if you import a phone from Europe, like buy a phone off contract, it hasn't been touched by AT&T. So you can tether all the hell you want. They can't do anything about it.
Makes sense.
But that was a little long. But it's just like the carriers are out of hand. That's it.
Yeah.
Point of story, the carriers need to get shut down.
So next week should be interesting.
What's happening next week?
Well, we have the release of the iPad.
Okay, and we can finally do an iPad to Windows 8 comparison.
Yes.
We'll see if that new resolution is enough.
I feel like you still need like a Windows 8 tab.
Yeah.
To really do an iPad comparison. And possibly either that, we could probably see a Nokia Lumia.
The Lumia 900.
900. So that's the phone that I kind of want to use a little bit and just check it out.
Yeah.
So there's 2 things. One thing for sure, but the other one
No, but the next week. It's the 16th next week.
Yeah. So
just pushing it.
Okay. So
Friday will be the day. Our next podcast will be on the day the iPad is released in stores.
Yeah.
We should
and we'll be able to see.
I'm not doing a podcast from the Apple Store.
You do from the UCF store, computer store. They're actually kind of low B.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Anyway,
on that
note, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, and you can reach us at a myriad of locations.
Myriad.
Yes,
you're saving that one.
Myriad locations on Facebook and Twitter. It's just basically that website /checkoutloud.
Mm-hmm.
On Twitter, I'm at andingit, ANDDNGIT. Christopher Walton is at Chris Walton, capital C, capital W, and Alex Weston is at Alex Weston, but instead of an O, it's a 0. So thanks you guys so much for joining us, and you guys should get an iPad 3. Tell us what you think, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, we'll have one soon.
Yeah, we'll have one next week, hopefully.
Yeah.
We'll have 3 next week.
We'll do a side-by-side comparison of all the iPads. I'll bring in my iPad 1, iPad 2, and
why is your iPad thicker than my iPad?
Oh, I'll see you have the new iPad from across the room.
You
Let me go run.
You have the new iPad. Okay. Thanks so much, guys. See you guys later.